Welcome to this episode 131 of Folks Talking Sports. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, and with me is my colleague, Brother Willy Gibson. How are you, sir?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Trying to figure out something here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, wow. This looks like X has denied me from going live on Twitter without having a premium account. So,
Oh, wow.
So we're just live on YouTube and on the Houston Roundball Review and on Folks Talking Sports. Whatever. I'm not going to pay that man no money just to do that. So no worries there.
Yeah.
All right. Justin, how you doing, my man?
Good.
I saw a little bit of Summer League. Reed Sheppard put on a show again in the third quarter. Good for him. Was a score at the moment, 79-70 Summer League Rockets over the Summer League Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Reed Sheppard, 8 for 11 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 1 block shot. Cam Whitmore, 21 points. Nate Williams, 12 points. Cam and Nate should be done after today for Summer League for the rest of this summer. But anyway, Mr. Gibson, let me say this. You hinted at it that you did not know about it, so I'm going to bring it up. Two of my buddies sent me this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to share the screenshot or nothing like that. I'm not even going to give the dude the satisfaction of mentioning his name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he tweeted Saturday around 1 Central Time some news. And Brother Gibson, the first part of this should give you indication. Well, I'm not going to put any words in your mouth.
All right.
But here it is.
Yep.
This is the tweet. Working to verify a report from 2 staffers that at least 4 ACC schools have agreed in principle to join Clemson and FSU in their exit and likely to the Big 12.
6 schools.
Yes.
And the Big 12 has how many schools now?
Soon to be 16.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. 22. Oh. Okay.
But my initial reaction was working to verify a report. So why did you tweet it?
Right. I was going. That was my second point. That was the second part. So if you're working to confirm it, it's not confirmed, so it's not true allegedly. So why are you, as you said, why are you reporting it?
So he got all kinds of likes and reposts, and like I said, a friend of mine in our text group sent it to me. Ironically, another UH alum tagged me in it as well. I didn't respond to it on Twitter. You know me, Brother Gibson.
Yeah.
In our short time getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Made a couple of phone calls. I screenshotted the tweet to another person. That person called me back in like 5 minutes and said, I'll clean up what the person said. But basically, this person said it's not accurate. And he used much more colorful language than saying it's not accurate.
That's some, yeah.
Yeah. And he also went a little further about the person who tweeted it, saying that person is lacking credibility. I'll put it like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this person, for the most part, is lacking credibility. In the past, he got, I think, one thing right when he said Oklahoma couldn't afford the initial exit fee from the Big 12, like Texas could. You know, Oklahoma money is not as long as Texas money. Okay.
Sure.
So he got that right. I didn't follow him. I don't follow him because I have other reasons not to follow him. But that was yesterday from that person, one of my sources. I left a message yesterday as well. This person called me back today. Mm-hmm. This person said, it's not true. All right, it's not true. Don't believe everything you see on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah. And he's like, Kris, that guy, I said, I know. I got to do my diligence. And before I comment or anything like that. That's why I was quiet on Twitter yesterday about it. I didn't say anything. I waited for, confirmation from folks I trust. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that I'm commenting on those rumors. Mm-hmm. It ain't true. Okay? It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who his sources were, but again, in his initial wording of his tweet, working to verify a report. Stop right there.
So it's
I'm
not true.
Thing out there unless I verified it. Period.
That's typically how it works.
I've been doing this a long time. The 22-year-old me, if Twitter existed 30 years ago, I might have done that.
Yeah.
But now, no, I'm not working to verify and putting it out there beforehand. I'm not doing that. But, and CA37, welcome to you as well. Thank you for chiming in. It is just this era, and the person I talked to today phrase it's just clickbait, Kris. It's just clickbait. And I'm like, I understand. So I hope the person who tagged me in the tweet is watching, chimes in so he can hear what I just said, because I'm not going to spend too much more time on that tweet other than to say what we said on June 24th on episode 129 of Folks Talking Sports. Commissioner, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark obviously has interest in Florida State and Clemson if they became available.
Mm-hmm.
Once they were turned down by the Big Ten and the SEC. And of course, that would happen after they resolved their legal issues. None of this stuff is going to happen. None of this stuff can happen until they resolve their legal issues, until they reach a settlement with the ACC.
Right.
Period. So this done deal stuff, no done deal.
Now you got pending litigation.
Exactly. They have to get all of that resolved. And one of the scenarios I think I brought up, we discussed it because you were adamant, right? When I hinted at it about them going to the Big Ten, you said, what'd you say?
I said no. Let me. Our brother AD Moore. That's not arrogance. That's not arrogance. That's not arrogance. It's all love. That's not going to happen. No. For a number of reasons.
Yes.
No.
Well, enlighten some of the folks about those reasons.
The Big Ten has a target. Well, let's go back. Former Commissioner Kevin Warren, he targeted 6 Pac-12 schools. If you remember, let's go a little further back. There was supposed to be an alliance,
right,
of the Big Ten, the ACC, the Pac-12. There was this alliance to kind of combat the perceived power of the SEC at the time. We know now that Kevin Warren, just a masterful businessman, masterful leader that he is, now the president of the Chicago Bears, was just, how shall I say, doing his due diligence on the other conferences to see who we could poach. And so he put together a 16 target from the Pac-12: USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, Stanford, Cal. He got 4 of the 6, 67%. That's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2, Stanford and Cal, ended up joining the ACC. So at the time, he surveyed the lay of the land and determined the schools that he wanted to target. He had ample opportunity to target Florida State and Clemson and whomever else at that time, but he didn't. So that at that point, that alone tells me all I need to know as far as those schools potentially joining the Big Ten. It's not going to happen.
And one thing that I said, and you agreed with me, for Florida State and Clemson to join the Big 12, it has to make sense for them financially.
Yep.
Because right now, as a member of the ACC, the payout they receive from the ACC is a little bit more than what they would get from the Big 12. Like $1. It's more than what we make, but it doesn't come close to what they would get from the Big Ten or the SEC. So for them to continue further dialogue with Commissioner Yormark in the Big 12, it has to make financial sense for them to join the Big 12. That involves, who knows what that involves? I hinted at the private capital, private equity piece of it, which Drew Weatherford, Florida State quarterback, Florida State alum, is part of with his brothers, as a possibility for that to happen, for Florida State to come to the Big 12. That's a lot that has to happen for FSU and Clemson to become members of the Big 12. So for that person to say that it's close and that six ACC schools are going to leave, 4 are joining FSU and Clemson, blah, 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 and hinting that it was imminent. Go back to it again. One source told me yesterday, nope, not accurate. And I'm being very, very polite.
Yep.
In the language that was told to me in our phone call. Very polite. Justin and CA37, y'all can fill it in and imagine what was said to me and how it was worded to me.
And let me back up too. Those are the reasons, but I wanted to make sure I was right before I said my second point. And we've talked about this before, Chris. There is an organization called the Association of American Universities.
Yes.
And it's America's leading research universities. The Big Ten currently has 18 teams.
Yes.
17 of the 18 schools are members of the Association of the American Universities. University of Nebraska is the only one that is not.
Correct.
Those schools that we just talked about are not members of the Association of American Universities, which, yes, we all understand sports, football is the straw that stirs the drink as far as college athletics. However, university presidents, especially in the Big Ten, are huge on the Association of American Universities. It's a status symbol. It's a feather in the cap. It's the staunch academia members of the university can hang their hat on. We're a member of the AAU. Florida State and Clemson are not members of the AAU. So that as well are reasons why those schools were not considered for membership of the Big Ten Conference.
And that's really, in a nutshell, to sum it up, that's all that needs to be said. Okay? Sure, anything's possible.
Yeah.
All right? And we go back to it. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll talk Rockets Coogs in a second and Summer League on this edition of Folks Talking Sports. Once the Big Ten and the SEC say no to Florida State and Clemson, and let's just pick one, Florida State. Then what are they going to do?
For personal reasons, let's pick Clemson.
Okay. Pick Clemson.
Yeah.
Then what are they going to do?
Right. They're going to go to the next.
They have two options then. Yep. They could go to the Big 12 for an increased payout that they'd have to negotiate, and the commission would have to get from ESPN, Fox Sports, etc. Or they could convince 6, 7 other members of the ACC to leave or disband and form a new ACC in hopes, discussions, thoughts, beliefs that the new ACC would receive their desired amount of revenue distribution to make it make sense in that new ACC. Those are the potential two options should the Big Ten and SEC say no to both Florida State and Clemson.
Yep.
And all of that has to happen after the litigation is resolved. nothing else is imminent until the litigation, the courtroom issues are resolved. Point blank, period. Period. So I'll leave it at that. How much of Summer League have you watched so far, Mr. Willy Gibson?
About a quarter and a half of
All
the 8 that the Cavs have played thus far.
Okay, I've watched. I saw all 4 quarters of the Rockets' first game against the Lakers. Today, I think I've watched out of the 3 quarters, maybe a quarter. It was on the TV, but I wasn't. I had the volume down some. I was fixing myself something to eat. Whatever. Yeah. I watched some of the third quarter. Saw Reed Sheppard do his Reed Sheppard things with some steals. Got a steal and a dunk. I saw Alex Sarr go under a high screen, and Reed said, "Thank you very much," and splashed a deep 3. And after that, I was like, "Okay, good for him." Let's get ready, folks, talking sports.
Right.
Justin asked this question. Yes, Cougar alum, UH alum, Fabian Wyatt Jr. is on the Rockets. Why isn't he getting any time on the floor? I know that's a question to ask Garrett Jackson. I don't know. That is especially, I don't know what the score is now of this game. Let's see, last score, Rockets up. Summer League Rockets up by 14 with 5 minutes to go. So maybe he'll get some run, or maybe he's nursing a nagging injury, based on the box score on the NBA website. Excuse me, Trevor Keels, nor Mike Miles, nor Shahada Wells have played yet in today's game either for the Summer League Rockets. Rockets now up by 15 with a little under 4 minutes to go. But ironically, or similarly, Max Fiedler, Rice alum, is on the Philadelphia 76ers Summer League roster.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played much, if at all, so far in their games. Jordan Nichols for TSU is on the Lakers Summer League roster. And I don't believe he's played yet, in at least in Vegas. I'm not sure what he did in the first Summer League. Jordan Nichols, I'm not sure why he hasn't played. Quincy Oliveri, Rice Owl, Xavier Musketeer. I don't think he played much so far for the Lakers. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll get their chance, because I'd like them to get looks on the court so they get opportunities and looks from other teams overseas or other teams in the NBA, whatever, so they get a shot. But I wish them well. CA37 says he'd like to see the Rockets win Summer League for Fabian and Nate Hinton, 2 Cougar alums.
Well, didn't the Rockets play in the Summer League championship last year?
They did. They lost to the Cavaliers.
Oh.
Yes. And
I didn't know that. I knew that.
But I know you knew that. But the MVP of last year's Summer League was one Cam Whitmore for the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Yay. That was such a big honor for Cam Whitmore.
I know.
But yeah, Justin with another comment. The French are creating these tall, lanky guys that can run and shoot like guards. Yeah, you got Wemby, Alex Sarr, the number 1 pick in the draft. Now that's tall.
Speaking of Wemby,
yeah,
Chris Paul is going to be phenomenal for that young man.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal.
Let's get into that. The money CP is getting from the Spurs is a more than half reduction of what he could have earned, because at the $30 million option,
yep,
he's getting what, 11 or 12 from the Spurs? 11.
Yep.
To play with Wemby. Is that a good move, a great move for CP, or should CP? I mean, the Spurs are not winning the chip this year.
Yeah.
Is he just doing this to hang around the NBA, or what?
No, I think I mean, he had opportunities elsewhere. He could have taken vet minimum to go to LA, play with LeBron. But I mean, vet minimum $11 million at age 39.
Yeah.
I mean, he's maximizing his financial opportunity. So, but yeah, I think he had opportunities elsewhere. He could have gone back to the Clippers. He could have gone a few other places. But I think, I mean, definitely financial considerations, number one. And then two, the opportunity to be an impact on Wemby, Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castillo as well. I think that's going to be. As I take that back, I watched probably 2 quarters because I did watch the last half quarter of the Spurs. I don't even remember who they played, how much of an impact it was. Oh, they played Portland. And Stephon Castillo is going to be a problem for somebody. And I think Chris Paul pouring into him is only going to help that young man as well. So,
Just as CP may go into coaching, and who better to learn from than Pop? Yeah. Agreed. And if you're watching the show on YouTube, thank you very much. Apparently, I don't know if the settings changed the last couple of days, but I tried to stream the show on the Folks Talking Sports Twitter account. And as we went live, got to pop a message that it needed to have a premium account to do that. And I'm not doing that. Yeah. So we're streaming live. I try to do it on my personal Facebook page as a test, as a last resort. I'm not sure it's going to work because we're already live and the show is 20 minutes into the show. But going forward, it's another reason why I don't spend as much time on that platform, on X, on Musk, or on Twitter. And I'll spend more time, as you see right there, on IG and for Folks Talking Sports. So I encourage you to start following me on those platforms for Folks Talking Sports for updates and info about this show and more than basketball news, because we do a little bit more than that on those platforms. But Justin was another tidbit here. He knows a guy that was cool with CP. He just loved Texas and he wanted to stay in Houston, but it didn't work out. Fair. And agreed. And I'll say more the players and folks close to Kris, he's CP. He's not CP3. Okay. The folks who are not in the know, the national media who don't know any better, call him CP3, refer to him as CP3. No, he's CP. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. The time he was with the Rockets, more you got to hang around him, it was CP. It wasn't CP3. It was CP. So some fans know that, some fans don't. Just putting it out there. No shade on Justin, but just an FYI. He's not really. Every so often you hear some folks say CP3. No. He'll answer to you because it's not going to be disrespectful. But I'm just saying. Mr. Trans says Toronto looks good. He's referring to Jamal Shead there. Detroit did not look good yesterday. Marcus Sasser was 0 for 6 from the floor. Still not comfortable yet running the offense at that point guard spot. He's not really a point guard. He's got a point guard height, but not really a point guard. We'll see what he does Monday. Detroit plays the Rockets. The Summer League Detroit team plays the Summer League Rockets on Monday. That game will be on NBA TV. I'll watch a little bit of it to see how Marcus does shooting the ball. And then get a look at Ron Holland, Detroit's 5th pick in the draft, and see how he does. And other than that, not sweating it. Mr. Trans, see Mr. Trans late. See, I got to do it again. All right, Justin. All right, CA, be patient with me here for a few minutes. Be patient. And CA, I don't believe they're going to sit. They're going to give Marcus a chance to run the offense. Saturday, he didn't shoot. He didn't make shots, and he wasn't on balance on his shots either. So that's why He had an air ball. He was long on his shot. He wasn't straight up and down. But real quick, Mr. Tran, anybody else chiming in? Referencing this and its internal sources, your sources are wrong. Mr. Tran, and if your sources, I do it on Twitter, wrong. And I'm not going to get into who my sources are, but if you follow me on these platforms, you know who my sources are. Okay, let's leave it at that. You got a good idea of who my sources are. Just leave it at that. And Saturday, one source told me, yeah, Chris, that's not accurate. Not even close, Chris. Not even close. Not accurate. And then another person said today, yeah, don't believe what you read on Twitter. I said, okay. And left it at that. So there we go with that. Now, and I'll go back again. None of this stuff is going to happen until Florida State and Clemson resolve their legal issues.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
They're gonna have to pay some money to leave the ACC. Whatever that amount is, they're gonna have to pay the ACC something to leave, to make the ACC whole and happy with losing their two of their bell cows. Yes, sir. They're not just gonna say, "Oh yeah, I can go for nothing." Yeah. Oh yeah. You've sued us. Y'all beat us in court. We lost all of our legal standing. And oh, by the way, y'all can leave us for nothing.
No, stop.
That's not happening. Okay, that's not happening. It's not. And just leave it at that. It's not happening. Okay. So, and that's not going to be $10 million. Will. It's not going to be $15 million.
But that's a different source, Mr. Trent.
That's a different source, and he's been wrong too sometimes. He's been right too sometimes. But again, I'm going back to it. Until the litigation is resolved, this stuff is not happening. It's not happening. Period. And I see Jason Shear's tweet. I'll say him, I have respect for him other than other guy. He said within the next year or so. Okay. You know what that indicates, Will? It's going to take about a year or so for them to do what? Resolve the legal issues.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. That is the whole point of this whole discussion. Unlike the dude yesterday who made it sound like it was imminent, even though he had not verified his sources yet.
Yeah, working on verifying.
Yeah, I'm working to verify this, but I'm going to put it on Twitter anyway.
Yeah, it's not true yet.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what happens if he works to verify, but then he verifies it's not true? Then what?
Yeah, then what? Is he going to come back and say, oop, my bad?
Right.
Oop, I verified it, and it was inaccurate. So forget what I said in my first book. Okay.
Right, yeah.
All right. Come on now. I don't work like that. Okay? That's that.
Well, all right, I'm not going to say that. All right.
Yeah, well, we can say that off the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, folks, family of the Folks Talking Sports show. A year or so, they're not going to do anything until they resolve their legal issues. And then once that happens, then they got to go to the Big 12 and say, okay, this is what we were getting from the ACC. This is what the schools in the Big 10 are getting. We expect hope. No. They're going to say we expect to be made whole. And that means matching what the Big 10 and the SEC schools are making. And then Commissioner Yormark has to say, well, let me get back to you on that. Well, then when you do that, you let us know. But beyond that, this stuff is not imminent. Okay? It's not imminent. I go back to it again, as I said, episode 129, as you and I discussed. This might all be part of Brett Yormark's master plan
Right.
of involving or getting a deal with a private capital, private equity firm for the Big 12. And he even said at Media Day in Vegas that was not close to happening, but it is inevitable for intercollegiate athletics. And clearly that's he's referring to the Big 12. The NFL is getting close to entertaining and allowing private equity to happen.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like no more than 10%. So these things will probably happen. Let me put it like this. And Will, I think you agree with me on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to speak for you, so correct me if I'm wrong. Florida State and Clemson are leaving the ACC as it is currently constructed.
Yes.
It's just a question of when.
Yes. Yes.
Now the win is, or the currently constructed is, either the Big 12 with an increase in revenue, or a reconstructed ACC, which just 8 members, the big boys. Yeah. And those 8 members have to be made whole from a TV package, which is they got to figure out how they're going to make all that money. Because this is what I want to talk to you about, Brother Gibson, or ask you about.
Yes, sir.
The ACC Network is linear, has a deal for basically 12 more years, roughly, at least 12 more years, at least. Why would, or no, in your opinion, would ESPN blow up the ACC Network to make the Big 12 happy, who does not have a network?
No. You think they would?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, no. So that's where I'm going. So make this make sense to me. So if ESPN probably does have their hand in this at some, the networks, ESPN and Fox Sports, Fox are really big in college sports. But how are they going? What would they do with the ACC network if Florida State does not form a new ACC and opts to leave the Big 12?
Peace. We're withdrawing our financial support nicely, is the way to put it.
Because without Florida State, without Clemson, and you believe, who would you say last on June 24th? Duke, North Carolina, I think, going to the Big Ten, something like that.
Yep. Carolina and Duke. Yep.
If they leave the ACC, who's left of value in the ACC?
Boston
SMU,
College, Virginia Tech, SMU. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. So again, because the Big 12 does not have a linear network. They have Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. So make it make sense. What are they going to do? Why would they shoot themselves in the foot with their own linear platform? And the Big 12 does not have a linear platform.
Right. Right.
So that part of the scenario doesn't make sense to me. But Willie said it. A lot of other folks I trust do not believe the Big Ten will invite Florida State. Nope. You can never say never. It seems highly unlikely. Okay. Then it comes down to, would the SEC blink and say, yeah, we'll go ahead and bring in Florida State. Yeah, sure. But really, what is their incentive if the Big Ten already says, yeah, we don't want them? So there's not really a fear of having the Big Ten put a flagpole in the state of Florida. So then what? They run out of options. Go ahead, say it. Don't be
Yeah,
shy.
because I've been fighting
Don't be
this
shy.
whole
Don't be
week.
shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I think we're focusing on the wrong Florida school for the Big Ten. Out of the ACC.
Oh, no question. I think it'd be Miami.
Absolutely, it'll be Miami.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it'll be Carolina, Duke, Miami, and wait for me, Pitt.
Yeah. I'd see that.
And the Big Ten will go to 22. If we want to talk about ACC schools.
Right. And, Train is correct on this. That South Carolina doesn't want Clemson. Well, that's nice. Texas A&M didn't want Texas.
Right.
And what happened there? I think I referred to it as if they got to that point, the SEC would tell Gamecock Nation, y'all go stand in a corner with the Aggies. We're bringing in Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Then what are they going to do?
Exactly. They are.
We're going to leave. We're going to leave. They brought in Clemson. Where are you going to go?
Yep.
That ship sailed and sunk. Not happening.
Yep.
Okay, see? Now, we're shifting gears now. Oh, 2 Let's Talk Houston Rockets shows ago. This is after the Rockets drafted Reed Sheppard. I asked the audience, the family, to give me some comparisons for Reed Sheppard.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked them because initial answers were, I forgot. We had Mark Price. We had, they were all white. And I stopped them because I want us to try to get out of this box that many of us are guilty of and try to come up with someone who's not Caucasian.
Yeah.
That Reed Sheppard's game reminds them of. Because Justin put it up here. Now they're saying Reed reminds them of John Stockton. That's lazy. Yeah. I don't remember John Stockton getting breakaway steals and dunks like Reed Sheppard has done. Okay? They're different. And I'm bouncing around because Tran's doing this. Brought this up.
Yeah, I saw that. No, I mean the AD is enough. Ross Bjork is enough.
Right. But this goes back to what I was told yesterday from my source. We had a fun conversation. Well, no. I really just listened to him just enlighten me.
Sure.
He said, can you imagine how let me clean it up. How wimpy Texas A&M would look if they would if they'd leave the SEC and run to the Big Ten simply because Texas is now in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would look like.
Yep.
We don't want to be involved with Texas anymore, so we're going to take our ball and go somewhere else. I just laughed and that makes sense. You're right. It makes sense to me. All right, how about this? Do you like?
I see that.
John Starks is Reed.
Justin. I see you, Justin. I see that.
Tran said that too. John Starks. Reed's a better shooter than John. From 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But John was a better on-ball defender.
All right, Mr. Tran. You're right. I see it now. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. I see it now. Yeah, Tran said, yeah, I see that.
But I could see some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want I would like us to get out of that lazy narrative of comparing, white players to only white players, black players, only black players, that kind of stuff.
Agreed.
Because I could say this. Shooting wise, percentage wise, Reed Sheppard shoots like Steph.
Mm.
Okay? A young Steph. I don't want to say anything about that yet. So I'm just trying to think out. We are too many of us are so just confined into a certain way of thinking.
Right.
A closed-minded way of thinking. And I'm just trying to get us out of that thinking. Hooping is hooping. Because mid-range game, Reed is like CP. Mid-range, developing a floater, where he plays the passing lanes, different things like that. So just a little bit I wanted to say.
Man, can I?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
It's totally off the subject. I always think about this. Is Steph a great scorer? Steph Curry?
As opposed to being a shooter, a better shooter?
Just stand alone. Is Steph Curry a great scorer?
I think of him more as a shooter than I do as a scorer.
Agreed. I brought that up for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
Because
I think Kyrie's a scorer.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we already heard Steph's a great scorer. Steph's a great scorer. Career-wise, DeMar DeRozan is like 500 points away from Steph. We don't consider DeMar DeRozan a great scorer. And I think people twist shooter score. Great shooter. Phenomenal shooter. But see, Curry's a GOAT. Based on what? Mr. Tran?
Yeah.
I really, because he's played how many years has Steph been in the league?
It's been a
14,
while.
15?
Yeah. He's
and
like
a half.
37, something like that.
Yeah, it's 36, 37.
Mm-hmm.
So to play that long and you don't have 25,000 career points yet, I question the fact that we're calling him a great scorer.
He's 36, and I know his birthday because it's the same as mine, March 14th.
Yeah, same as theirs. Yeah. So, okay, let's say 14,
36.
15 years, and you scored 23,000 points. Is that a great score?
And I agree with what Willie is saying, but if you want to comment to Brother Gibson and disagree with him,
hit me up.
Hit him up right there. Hit him up right there. No worries at all, because we just have different. We like to have you think.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that was.
Yeah, just have you think. We have a smart audience.
I mean what I said. We don't do that. I'm gonna throw stuff out for shock value. I meant what I said. But yeah, he's clutch. Absolutely, he's clutch. He is clutch. But is he a great scorer?
Right. When
you have less than 25,000 points in a 15-year career.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me see. Just want to get his actual stats.
Yeah.
Just pull it up real quick as we're doing this live and everything. Oh, and by the way, let's see. He averages 24.8 points a game. 5 rebounds, 6 assists. That's for his career. That's solid.
That's solid.
It's very solid. Corey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I guess I'm just looking at the fact that he's at less than 25,000 career points. Averagely, absolutely, but that's what I'm kind of like, wait.
But he's a smart player.
Yes.
Corey, how are you and all that? Corey, we're not going to bring it up, but if you bring it up, we'll mention it again. And you just scroll through the timeline to figure out what I'm not going to say unless you bring it up again. Okay. Willie Fritz.
Yep.
Houston Cougars overall rank for the class of 2025 hovers around 40 in the nation. Per 24/7 Sports, I think it's 3rd in the Big 12.
Nice.
Let me say that's 24/7. I think the overall composite, so that's the other rankings like On3, ESPN, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
They're like 7 out of the Big 12. So still upper half.
Mhm.
It's like night and day, Mr. Gibson.
Yep.
Compared to the previous regime. Not night and day. It's not even close. And I'll say this to the folks who did not see us, me, Andy, Yanez, and Dayon Dunlap during our 2 days of Let's Rage Cougs in Vegas from Big 12 Football Media Day. And by the way, I'm happy to say, Willie, I think you know this now. I'm happy to say you can watch those shows. You can watch Let's Rage Cougs on Roku via the BS3 network. So not just my live show. Willie's on there with AJ.
Yep.
Shout out to you, brother. And shout out to AJ Jones for making this all happen and
Yes, sir.
Putting us together, me and Willie together.
Yes, sir.
You can watch my show, the live show, Thursday show, the Takeover on Roku on BS3. Some of the Let's Talk Houston Rocket shows also stream on BS3 on Roku. So long story short, I'm just trying to get y'all to download the BS3 app on Roku if you have Roku. And you can watch Let's Rage Cougs, Let's Talk Houston Rockets, and the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break on Throwback Thursdays. All of those shows are available on Roku via the BS3 network. But Coach Fritz got another commitment. Was it yesterday? What is today? It's all run together, Willie.
Yeah.
Commitment from Kyle Johnson yesterday afternoon. He chose the Cougars over, this is pretty impressive, I think, over Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
He's from, I love the city. He's from Bunkie, Louisiana.
Ah.
Some of y'all say Louisiana. Some folks say Louisiana.
I was just there. I was not in Bunkie. I probably drove through it, but I was just there last week. Yeah.
He's a cornerback. So the Cougs beat out Ole Miss and Mississippi State and others, but that's 2 SEC schools, and one of those 2 schools has a pretty big NIL. So, hey. But Jan says Willie is your favorite guest. Is his favorite guest on the show. Well, he's part of this show. He's part of Folks Talking Sports. So yeah, no worries at all about that. Oh, you want to chime in on this, sir? As Corey already said it. Your thoughts on OSU holding down the spot in recruiting right now?
Yeah, wash, rinse, repeat. And that's arrogant. My fault, AD.
Corey,
My fault, AD.
Right there.
Yeah. See, I didn't see that. I promise I didn't. I promise I didn't. But Corey, well said. Couldn't have said it better. And AD, come on, man. But yeah, that's just what it is. Ryan Day just interviewed recently. I think it was with Joel Klatt, and he said a simple but very profound statement. He said pressure is a privilege, and trust and believe when I say the pressure on him and his staff is the highest privilege because they have it. They have pressure daily, hourly, minutely, secondly here in Columbus, Ohio. And they've been producing. They've been producing and recruiting. Hopefully that translates to the field. Practice begins August 1st. The season begins August 30th. And
And the date for the game against the team up north is what?
The Saturday. It's the last Saturday in November.
Right.
Yeah.
So that this year will be Thanksgiving Saturday.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the very last Saturday. So even if it's a 5 Saturday month, still the last Saturday, right?
Yes, this year it will be November 30th.
Yep. So that's Thanksgiving Saturday, and hopefully I'll be coming back from Vegas, watching the Cougs men's team participate in the Player Era Festival. But final score in Vegas, speaking of Vegas, the Summer League Houston Rockets, 109. The Summer League Washington Wizards, 91. Ken Whitmore, 25 points. Reed Sheppard, 22 points. Orlando Robinson, big man, come off the bench, 22 points in a little under 22 minutes, 22 and 15 in just 21 minutes, 41 seconds. So the Rockets, the Summer League Rockets, are now 2-0. They will face the 0-1 Detroit Pistons on Monday. Game is on NBA TV. So I just hope Marcus Sasser does better than he did on Saturday.
Mr. Tran. I'm sorry, I'm reading this comment.
Yeah, Will Howard, he's going to take Ohio State 12-0.
He just has to do his job. The team is going to take them to 12-0. He doesn't have to come in here and throw for 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns. He has Chip Kelly as his offensive coordinator. He has a two-headed running back monster behind him and Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. He has receivers, a plethora of receivers. He just has to come in and do his job, fulfill his role,
and not mess up.
Yeah, I was trying. I was trying to give him more credit than that, but yeah, he just has to not mess up. Yeah. And Ohio State's going to be 12-0 regardless. The quarterback's not going to take them to 12-0. It's the machine. It's the system. He just has to do his job.
All right. Everybody, Mr. Tran, click on that shop button, buy you a Folks Talking Sports mug, or contribute other ways to the FTS show or the Houston Roundball review, or click on and do a super chat, super sticker for this show. Got to get into that more and more. Some shows have a lot of contributions from their viewers via super chat, super stickers, and hopefully we'll do, as we do more shows on a more consistent basis, we'll get that going. But this question, these final moments of FTS, episode 131. Do folks think back to the basket bigs making a comeback in the NBA? I can dream.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I don't believe so, but it has gotten better. But so I accept that for the improvement in the back to the basket bigs, and just leave it at that. It won't be like it was back in the 90s, but I like the fact that the low post game is returning, because I've always maintained one easy way to get open 3-point looks is what? Throw the ball down low, you draw the double team, kick it out, and you get open threes. It's simple, so. But we haven't talked since Paul George made it official and became a Philadelphia 76er. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
I mean, they delivered the bag. They bought the bag. Now, it'll be interesting to see. On paper, that's a huge big three. I mean, Maxey is going to be phenomenal. He's going to ball out this year. Now, is Joel going to stay healthy? And is Paul George going to stay healthy? But on paper, that's an interesting big three.
Are they the second best team in the East?
Say one more time.
Are they the second best team in the East?
In July, on paper, yep. Because they put the pieces around it. And I think the most underrated signing wasn't even Andre Drummond. It was Eric Gordon. And then Caleb Martin as well. Daryl Morey had an awesome July so far.
I'll give him credit.
So that's what I mean. On paper,
yeah.
Or
okay. So Knicks, Sixers, of those two, who's second?
Knicks. That's strong. See, let's see. Again, health.
Well, both teams kind of break down.
Right. So kind of like it's health. Man,
Okay, would you say both of them are better than the Bucks?
yeah, I would.
Where are the Bucks now in the hierarchy in the East?
Man, call me biased. They might be. They might be behind the Cavs right now. They might be like 5 or 6. Because you can think about it: Boston, New York, Philly, Cleveland, Orlando.
Mm-hmm. Detroit.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
In due time. In due time. That time is not now, but in due time. I do have more faith in this coach than I did in the coach and GM than the previous regime. So, heck, I like what Trajan Langland's done so far.
Yeah.
Much more than what the previous GM did. But anyway. All right. Let's see. We touched on that Big 12 rumor. We touched on a little bit the Summer League Rockets. And again, the Rockets face the Summer League Pistons Monday. Game can be seen on NBA TV. I'm not sure if that game will also be on, what is it, the Space City Home Network for the Rockets. I don't know about that. But everybody watching, if you are in H-Town and or the surrounding H-Town area, I hope this means that you have had your power restored. Because last check, where were we at? Like right around, goodness, 400,000, maybe 500,000 folks still don't have power in their homes. And we're going on 7 days as of Monday. I won't make any political statements or anything like that, but that's too damn long. I'll just leave it at that. But yes, Summer League Rockets play the Summer League Pistons at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday, July 15th on NBA TV. And then they'll be off until Thursday, July 18th to face the Summer League Timberwolves. And that game will be on ESPN. All right, my man, Willy Gibson, as always, thank you very much for your insight and your opinions.
Thank you.
Because they are informed opinions. So it's right there. It's been there for a while. So it's your world, sir.
Yes, sir. I was looking at Thriller. He said people still don't have. Yeah, that's wild.
Yep.
Prayers for everybody in Houston still being affected by that. But definitely reach out to me on, as Carl says, on Twitter at Will Gibson 7, on Facebook at Will Knows, and IG and Threads Will Knows Sports.
And going to do this real quick, just to do this.
Did you fade it? You faded it in? You sweet with it.
Yeah, asking everyone to start following Folks Talking Sports on IG and Threads. Literally, it's Folks Talking Sports, as you see on the crawler. Had a curveball thrown at the show this evening as the show began. That we can't stream the show on Twitter, on Musk, unless you're part of the premium tier now. And I'm not doing that. So, but anyway, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Tran, Justin, Big Thrillo, CA37, and everyone else watching the show. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for taking time out to participate in the discussion. We'll be back. I might do a different FTS with another colleague about baseball and the Astros during this All-Star break. We'll see if I can get his schedule to mesh with mine and go from that. But a different note, real quick. The basketball tournament, TBT, starts this Friday. Houston alumni team, Forever Coogs, is hosting the Houston Regional. Their game is their first game. Well, if they lose, it's their only game. Is this Friday? It's one and done. But their media availability will be this Tuesday, on the 16th. So I should be there and get some interviews, some content. So check that out on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel. Click on that bell so you can receive notifications of when new shows and new content is posted on the Houston Roundball Review. And as always, that'll do it. Here we go. Y'all know how it is. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.